Hello, it's Mikhail here, and this is something different. I am going to do videos commenting on the changes in each major update to Gundam Battle Operation 2 from now on. Just looking at the web page and recording it live. This is my second impressions, but just to give a good overview of everything. So first up is the generals, and we've got some more buffs to the double Zeta Gundam, because sadly it seems to keep needing them. Gain some thrusters, because apparently that's to help with maneuver armor, and also it is much faster while boosting than compared to its walking speed, so that will help it a lot. And then it also got some tweaks to the double beam rifle. Slightly less heat, better stagger, more power while charged, which is probably the big one, because it didn't gain a lot of power while charged. It mostly was just for the fact that it staggered and charged really quickly. And then the reduced heat also applies to the focused fire. On to the XS Gundam, which is surprisingly the only major change from the suits introduced in December. I was really expecting a nerf to the Totus Ritter. But anyway, it gained about 1,500 health, flight control program level 2, so now it can boost and stuff while in the air on ground maps. The Beam Smart Gun got a charging speed buff, and now it charges as fast as the Alex Beam Rifle, which is nice. And then some small tweaks to the incoms that make it harder to hit objects on the map and make it easier to hit units. I don't know what exactly this could mean, but if you play the XS, let me know if these are problems you have with it. And let me know if they fixed it. The Digi got buffed, which is... honestly, it needed it. An extra 1,000 health. The special leg buffer it gains at level 3 is now a level 2 skill instead of level 1, which is something. And then it gained an extra shot in the shrapnel clay bazooka. Frankly, I wish it had gotten a damage buff instead of an ammo buff, but frankly, the Digi needs both, so it's something. Gian EOS, which I haven't used in a while, I might use it again now, mostly just applies to level 2 and up. Gained an extra 1,500 HP at level 2. All levels seem to gain a bullet damage, a live ammunition damage boost. Although since it's the same as the beam boost, maybe this was supposed to be for level 2 and up too. I don't know the stats for it off the top of my head. But anyway, it also got a beam resist boost, little more thrusters, a lot more thrusters at level 3. And they got buffs to the beam bayonet and the beam gun on the bayonet from level 2 and up. Let's see, the Dwaj custom, it got pretty much everything about its beam cannon got improved here. An extra 200 damage, that's close. That's over 10%, so that's nice. Slightly less heat rate, which is good. Slightly quicker recovery from overheat, that's nice. Faster bullet speed, always handy. Improved the difficulty of hitting objects on the map, which I assume just means it had hitbox issues that they kind of fixed. And then it also increased the power and bullet speed of the charge shot. And then to top it off, from level 2 and onward, the Heat Hawk got buffed. That's its secondary melee weapon, which is tricky to use but devastating. Now here's something I like. The Pale Rider GHA got a buff. Extra 1,000 hit points. Slightly more thrusters. Level 2 got even more speed and thrusters. And then from the level 2 and up, the leg missile pods and the 180mm cannon have improved scaling. Looks like the leg missiles gained a lot of damage, which is a little scary. Those things can rip a suit's legs right off if you fire them on a downed target. So that's nice. And then last general, the Goguj high mobility type Vincent Gleisner. It gained a bit more beam resistance. It now has a rather scary 30 beam resistance for a 450 suit. It also gained a bit of melee resistance, which it did badly need. More thrusters bring it up to a very impressive 75 thrusters. It got a speed buff from Unit 1, and then the level 2 it got a range damage boost, which is nice. Let's see. It looks like we've got some buffs to the Goof, which is surprising, and I'm sure all 2 of the Goof mains will be very happy about this. It's a great suit that is sadly not used by nearly enough players. This is complicated because the buffs are split across a bunch of different levels. But it looks like it got a universal slight increase in turning speed, which is always great for a melee-centric suit like the Goof. The unit speed was increased at all levels, it seems. Or at least it looks like it increased naturally at level 3 previously. Now level 1 and 2 got the increase. Same with the thrusters. And at level 4, it now gets maneuver armor level 2, which also reduces damage, so that's nice. Let's see. The Finger Vulcan, that's interesting. Increased firing rate. That could be either almost nothing, or we could be looking at another situation like the Act Zaku Bullpup, where it went from a completely average machine gun to the best machine gun in the game. I will be looking forward to seeing what the Japanese wiki finds out is the exact numbers on that one. That could potentially be a game changer for the Goof. Look out for that. And then finally, Heat Rod. Increase the compensation of lower melee attacks, so the knockdown swing will deal more damage now, I guess. Which is good. You didn't really use that much in my experience, and it also equips faster now. Let's see, the Zusa, this fun little pile of missiles and destruction, gained an extra 1,500 health, gained an extra 5 range boost. The beam rifle gained another 100 damage and better stagger accumulation, which is really nice. The Zusa has a lot of secondaries that can exploit that. And the chest 3-tube missile pods apparently, once again, improved to make it harder to hit objects on the map. That's very vague, but it's something. And then finally, the last suit for the update, the Goguj, got a big buff for the level 4 and level 5 versions. It gained an extra 1,000 hit points, and then it gained increased damage on the beam machine gun and beam spot gun. I'm glad for this. I really like the Goguj. It's a really fun suit. It goes to 650 for some weird reason, and unfortunately, it really falls off at the higher levels. But hopefully, now we'll see more viable Gogujs at top cost. That'll be nice. So yeah, nothing too crazy or shocking. Personally, I'm probably happiest about the buffs to the Pale Rider GHA. I always like that suit, although I don't usually use the higher level versions. I feel a little bad that the Double Zeta Gundam had to get buffed again because it is still underperforming, because it has always underperformed ever since it was released. I really hope it can be viable again at some point. That said, there is one other little exciting thing. The effects of the marker skill got improved. So if you don't remember this skill, it is a skill on the Gym Nightseeker family and I'm going to butcher this, the Bolanok Saman, the high cost raid with fake beacon, that one, that allows it to be targeted by friendlies as a support fire target. Normally, this skill mostly just means you get griefed by your own teammates. It doesn't really it doesn't really provide anything much. This seeks to make it so that you make it a little bit better. Where when you're hit by your own team's support bombardment now, you reduce the damage received by 45%, and it quote unquote removes damage effects, which I assume means that it does not stagger you now. So yeah, that's actually some fairly major changes, and hopefully Marker is. If nothing else, Marker means you can probably do some clever things now, like diving into your own team's support fire to finish off an enemy. And if nothing else, it makes you harder to grief with it. Anyway, now that that's all covered, yeah, I will see you all for another of these next month, and until then, I will see you on the battlefield.